So my son's room was starting to feel incredibly overwhelming. He does have the smallest room in the house, but there was just starting to accumulate so many different things in there that every single time I walked in, I felt overwhelmed. And he's in that room quite often. And he was definitely feeling the overwhelm. It was hard to clean, hard to maintain. So I really wanted to take the advice from the minimal mom and try to hush this room. It was really important to try to get out everything that he wasn't going to use. I did not remove his computer, his video games, his TV, or his clothes. All of that stayed, but everything else we ended up taking out of the room. I'm just showing you what it looks like on a regular basis. Even though he does come down and clean the room, it still was getting messy very, very quickly and needed to be dealt with. So on this day, I wanted to come and take out all of the bins that were sitting on top of the clothing here, just because a lot of that was stuff that he wasn't using. So my goal was to get this out for a few days and see how it felt with less stuff in it, and see, kind of show him like how much easier it was to keep clean during that time. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll know that I used to have this entire wall was filled with stuff that we stored in this room, which was really unfair to him, but I was able to get most of it out other than those 3 buckets. Those stayed in there, so I was finally able to get those out of the room once and for all, and they do not make their way back in there. My plan was just to originally get things out of the room, but I decided to go through those clothes really quickly. The shirts that I knew he wasn't going to wear, we went through them very quickly and got rid of all of the ones that either no longer fit or he just didn't like anymore, so we could put those into a donate pile. This here used to be his nightstand, but I ended up switching it out with my older son. So here's the shirts that we got rid of first. And then we also ended up going through a couple of the drawers to get rid of some of the shorts that, again, he just doesn't want anymore. That way I know what I need to buy before we actually go school shopping, which is going to be probably early next week. I want to get some school shopping done, so I'm hoping to kind of clear out some space for that, just to actually see what we need. So another big thing was a lot of those hangers had come from my older son's room. I try to keep all of the same colors in each room, but then obviously somehow they just made their way back in there. But here's all the clothes that we are going to end up donating. And then one of them we had to throw away because it had somehow got bleach on it. So now I'm just taking out some of the extra hangers, hanging up some of the clothes that I had washed, and then we're going to set aside the extra hangers, and I'll figure out if I'm going to donate them or just keep them in the other room for now, out of the way. So all of this happened in about 30 minutes on that first day. Like I said, my goal was just to get everything out and then let him live with that room for a few days. It ended up being about 5 days after I was working and we just had the time to come back in. But then we're going to actually sit down and go through every item together, and he is going to decide what gets donated or tossed and what he wants to keep. And I cannot believe the amount of things that we actually ended up getting rid of out of this room. We've been pretty good about going through things on a more frequent basis, but he had a ton of stuff in here that he no longer wanted, and we were able to donate a huge big black trash bag full of stuff, and a lot of stuff went in the trash and other stuff went at the end of the driveway. So you will see that very shortly. And I'm just going to show you really quickly what we have in his dresser. It's pretty well organized. He really doesn't have a ton of extra clothes. We have his pajamas and a couple extra sheets in this drawer. The next drawer down has all of his shorts. The next one is socks and underwear, which I do not show. And then below that is all of his pants. And then the bottom drawer is a bunch of random stuff that we do end up going through on the next part of the video and getting rid of most of it. So it has been about 5 days now since we hushed his room, and today I want to come back and go through some of the boxes that he's had in here, see what he actually wants to keep in here, and get the rest out of this house. My house is feeling so messy since we've been back from vacation. I just have not had the motivation to keep up with it, so I am excited just to get things out of here to make things a little bit more simpler going into the new school year. So I'm going to show you what the room looks like really quickly with everything out, and then kind of where we're starting from. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go through really quickly some of this stuff here. I'm going to ask him if he wants to keep it. The things that he does not want, we're just going to get rid of. I had bought 2 of these when I went to IKEA. So for now, we're going to use these. And if we like them, then I'll probably get a couple for in here to keep for long term so I can use these somewhere else. But I just want to give them a try and see if they work in the room. So we're going to make 2 piles, trash and keep. So this system ended up working out really, really well because, you know, he just doesn't really want to be on camera, but we were able to go through everything together and one by one pick out items and really make quick decisions on what he actually wanted to keep. If you're not going to put it together, it doesn't matter that it was a gift. That's probably what you feel guilty about, right? Yeah. I know. So he had gotten those Legos as a gift and he feels guilty because he doesn't want it. But I'm just explaining that it's okay that we get rid of things, even if they're gifts. We don't need to hold on to them just because someone gave them to us. We can let someone else maybe take that will actually get some joy out of it. So this bin is pretty old. I'm not sure if I'm going to get rid of it or keep it yet, but I'll think about that and we'll get back to that after. Probably just get rid of it. Now these were some pants that I had bought. But I bought the wrong size, so we'll probably just donate all of those. I think if you have younger kids, you could probably do a lot of this without them. If you really know that they're not using those toys, maybe keep the things that they still enjoy around, but things that have been sitting around for months or even longer, not being used, you could probably just donate. But really just having everything out of the room, let him know what the room could actually feel like without all of that extra clutter in it and how much easier it would be to manage. Okay, I went and got another basket that we were waiting to see. This was a school project that he had done last year or the year before?
5th grade, so the year before.
So 2 years ago. It's super cool when they put it together. But a lot of it's kind of falling apart now. So, what do you want to do with it? You want to keep it?
I would really like it.
Okay. He's going to keep it. And this is the one that you still use?
For everybody's house.
Okay, so this is what he uses when he goes to sleepovers and things like that. So we'll keep this. And we need to get a new school bag this year. But this one is held up really good. He used it for a couple years for school, and now he uses it for when he goes to people's houses. So that will keep. Speaker. Okay. And then I think some of these clothes may have been in the donate bin, and they just ended up in here somehow. So as I said earlier in the video, ever since we've been back from vacation, my house has been literally like horrible. I have not seen it this bad in a couple of years. So my next video is going to probably be split into 2. That's how messy it was between the upstairs. And then I have to go down and I really need to clean my bedroom. My bedroom has gotten out of control and the basement again has gotten out of control. So that's going to be next. Okay, so this is another project that we did last year, I think, an animal cell project. We're going to get rid of it. This is his like donate basket, but it's kind of just collected like a bunch of stuff in here. So I'll probably, it's all banged up. I'll probably figure out another container to use. Maybe we could use that white one for a donation box instead. We'll see. And then then this was his backpack last year, which got completely trashed. Water bottles and all kinds of stuff going in there. So I think most of this is just going to end up in the trash. There's nothing in here that we're going to keep. I'm going to take a look through it just because he wants me to, but most of it is going to go in the trash. Like, yeah. So I'm going to take a look through this after, and then we're just going to end up throwing this whole bag away.
I'm gonna check
Clothes.
clothes. What are clothes doing in here?
Somehow there's clothes in here from last school year.
What are clothes doing in there?
Throw those in the laundry. Now, one more thing that I wanted to go through was his bottom drawer. I had put a lot of stuff in there one of the times that I had cleaned the room, just because I didn't know if he wanted to keep it or not, and I didn't want to throw anything away. So we're just going to go through that drawer really quick next. Okay, so let me show you what I'm talking about. In here, we just have some random things that, again, I didn't want to throw away, but I don't think he really uses a lot of it, and it's taking up quite a bit of space.
Back to him.
All right, so here, come.
Yep.
So this keyboard is old and gross. No one uses it.
Doesn't
This
even
is
work.
going to go in the trash.
Doesn't even work.
Rubber duck.
Chicken.
This stuff.
No. Huh?
This stuff.
Yeah.
Just. All right. This is empty.
Yeah, it's my custom Pokemon box that I got.
We've got crayons in here. We might need these for school. So
I mean, we might.
if it's on the list, you can bring
Yeah,
these
yeah,
in.
yeah.
So if it's on the school list, we'll bring these in. We've got just like pencils and markers in here. Those can stay for now until we know if we need them.
See how scratched it up that is. It took kind of a while to build. But it's... I'm gonna donate this.
Okay.
I don't want to throw it away.
Yeah.
But I'll donate it.
All right. So we're gonna. All right. And this is the one that's going back to Uncle Leandro?
It is.
Okay. I think it's really easy to kind of toss things into drawers or to bins, and then they kind of get forgotten about. So it is worthwhile to go through them every so often and just take a look through and see if you actually want to hold on to those things, or if you think that you are ready to let them go. If they're not being used, just get rid of them. Ask yourself those questions. Have you used it in the last 6 months? If you had to rebuy it, would you? All right, so all he's going to keep for this is his computer. Some of these wires here. This is the charger for the computer.
That's a nice idea. Put the wires in there.
Yeah. We've got some cards and crayons. I have to go through this back to school list that we need to get and get all the supplies. We have another bucket with school supplies that I can go through before we go shopping. But those will stay in there for now. And I think that's it for this drawer. Right?
Yeah.
All right. So,
I mean, the top drawer has something else in it. That looks a lot better.
okay, so here is part of the declutter throwaway pile. I have to go through, sort what we can donate, which is probably just going to be the clothes. So here's the pile that we had gone through the first day. I'm going to add those to the donate pile. And then we're going to go through that school bag. All of the other stuff we are going to sort into donate and toss. And then here is his keep pile, much smaller. So now we can decide what is going to go into one of the bins on top, or whether or not we even need a bin right now. So I'm going to just go through that. And then this other piece of furniture here. So there's the box that we were using for donations. And then this piece of furniture used to be his old nightstand, but since we put the new one in there, he doesn't want this anymore, and we are going to donate this as well. I think I'm just going to start putting the donations into this bag here, so it'll be easy to put it into my car and just get rid of it. I was actually pretty shocked at how much stuff we had gotten rid of. I didn't even realize that he had that much in his room to begin with, never mind that many things that he wasn't actually using. So again, I think I'm going to give this a try, maybe in my other son's room before school starts. But really my main focus now is just on getting the rest of the house back in order, because I do not want to start a brand new school year with the house in chaos, and that is how it's feeling right now. But I also might give this hushing a try in my own bedroom as well. We are planning to switch our bedrooms. You've probably heard that several times from me at this point, but it is going to happen at some point. We're finally starting to get things going. Today, my husband and both of our fathers were out digging a trench in our yard for all of the water. So I'm hoping now that we will not have any more water in our basement, which would be a huge relief. Already said you're going to donate?
Yeah.
And then this keyboard is going to go back to his uncle who gave it to him. He doesn't use it, but he doesn't want to throw it away. You know what I would do is I would text him and see if he wants it.
He doesn't.
And then I'm going to add all of these clothes as well.
Okay, I just texted him.
This is all trash.
Yep.
And then I think I'm just going to put these out on the front. If somebody wants them. I think baskets always come in handy. I'm not sure what we're going to use now for. I don't know what we're going to use yet for donations.
Maybe this.
Maybe we could store it under the bed.
Yep.
Maybe we're going to keep this one for donations. I'm going to clear out under the bed. And maybe we can just keep this under there so he can just throw in like clothes and things like that that don't fit. And then the rest are just going to go outside, I think, on the end of the driveway. And if someone wants them, they can just grab them. So now I just want to dust off the top here since we have it empty. And I think my goal is really just to maybe like get one of the things from IKEA, like the storage, kind of like it's like a closet, but I can store the clothes inside of the doors instead of having them open. I think that's what I would like to eventually get down here, but for now this is what we have and we're going to just keep using it. I think once it's cleaned off it doesn't look quite as bad. And then in here, I'm just going to store a couple things like for baseball, maybe a couple of the balls, the extra glove. And we can even fit the Pokemon cards in here that he wants to keep for now. This can go in the bottom drawer.
Here,
Okay, so that's all we're going to keep in there for now. All right, I'm just going to dust this really quick.
you can move my headset and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
With earbuds.
This little thing my dad got for him. It's like a little maze. So we just keep tossing money in there whenever we have extra change. And then it's supposed to, once you figure out how to get the ball through the maze, it's supposed to pop open, but we're just filling it up for now.
It's been very unsuccessful.
So now I am going to take out the things from underneath the bed that I've been storing in here. Now that my oldest son is gone, I'm just going to store the stuff in that room for now, but at least I can clear out underneath his bed. So I was able to get quite a bit out from under the bed. I got 2 big boxes plus the trash bags, but the rest I had to leave for now. All right, I think I'm going to leave those 2 under there for now. But the rest I'm going to move out, and I'm just going to vacuum under there really quick. So for now, at least this can go under here for donations. Maybe I'll just put it right down there. Slippers. And for now, I'm going to take this stuff out of his room and put it into the other room. So hopefully when we get that room all set up, I'll be able to have a nice storage area there that's nice and organized. Like I said, he really does the majority of the cleaning in here, but since we had everything out, I wanted to give the room a quick vacuum since I had just dusted, plus we had everything out on the floor. And his room just feels so much easier to manage now. Because it's small, I think anything that's laying around on the floor just makes it look super cluttered and messy no matter what. And now he'll be able to vacuum easier. And I have a couple of hooks that I had picked up from Amazon. We're going to be putting those up on the wall as well, just for some of his hats and like a towel after he showers. So once I get those up, I'll show you really quickly what those look like. But for right now, the room is looking so much better. Once the summer's over, we're going to get the air conditioner out of there as well. So that'll be one less thing in his room. Okay, so we are done. That really did not take a long time at all. We only ended up needing 1 bin. We've kept the project and his Pokemon cards, hung up the backpacks. He has a couple of things probably in his laundry bin that once we hang up, I might need a couple more hangers, but for the most part, everything is cleaned out of here that he doesn't want anymore, including all of the drawers. That way, when he's starting up his new school year, he'll just have a nice clean space to start off in, and it's a lot easier to keep clean. I did end up leaving those 2 buckets under the bed. Hopefully, like I said, once I'm able to completely redo the other room, we can get those moved. But for now, I think they're okay. He still has plenty of room under there. It's easy to clean. I've put the donation bucket under there as well. And he will be getting a new chair for most likely his birthday. But for right now, we are just keeping it as is. He did that himself, so he's just going to have to keep living with that for now until we do get him a new chair. But everything else is done, organized, and clean. I've gotten all of my stuff out of that corner, so he just has more space in here. All right, so thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I hope that you'll give this a try. It really did kind of change my perspective on things, and I think I'm going to give this a try in some other rooms in the house. But for now, I just need to focus on getting the rest of the house clean, which I will be doing this weekend. So I will hopefully show you that video next week. But thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.